Today I am going to discuss about a soil profile, types of soils and what kinds of soils can be seen across the country. Let us begin with study of soils. What is soil? A product of weathering is called by the name soil. Basically, soil is a product of weathering. Soil is derived from the Latin terminology solum, which means floor or ground. Soil is the thin layer of organic and inorganic material that covers the earth's rocky surface. Soil is an important natural resource. It represents the interface between the lithosphere and biosphere. A soil is an earthy, loose and porous material which may be inorganic. Inorganic means maybe sand kind of material or clay kind of material or silty kind of material, whatever it is, etc. Or organic. Organic means it is formed by the disintegration of peat like material or a mixture of both organic as well as inorganic matter. The organic matter, which is derived from the decay of remains of plants and animals, it is concentrated in the dark uppermost top soil. The inorganic means which is made up of rock fragments is formed over thousands of millions of years by physical weathering and chemical weathering of rock beds. The next is soil profile. What is a soil profile? A vertical section of soil in which all the horizons, a vertical section of soil in which 4 horizons are shown is known as soil profile. A is the topmost horizon, below which B horizon, the next is C horizon, at the bottom we are going to find D horizon. This is last horizon, D horizon. Above the D horizon, we are going to find C horizon. What is soil profile? Soil scientists have identified a number of horizons within the soil. In a typical soil profile, following four weathering zones are commonly recognized, which are A horizon, B horizon, C horizon, D horizon. How do we define soil profile? A vertical section of soil in which all the horizons are shown is known as soil profile. Let us take one by one. The first one is A horizon. It is the uppermost layer. It is the uppermost mineral horizon and it is characterized by finely divided particles. You see here, A horizon, which means finely divided particles, means completely weathered particles. A horizon extends from a few centimeters to a meter or more. It may contain loose leaves, incompletely decomposed organic matter, and good amount of humus. Humus means a part of soil which consists of dead plants. The second one is B horizon. The second one is B horizon. This horizon lies immediately below the A horizon. It is a zone of mixed composition, partly of soil and partly of weathered rocks. The lower region of B horizon becomes more pebbly and coarse indicating material. The A horizon and B horizon are together form the true soil called solum. The zone is rich in mineral matter, clays, colloids, iron and aluminium oxides. Next to the B is C horizon. This is a practically soil-free zone. This zone is already attacked by the weathering agents. Next to this, D horizon. Here we are going to find solid block free from weathering. The next one is classification of soils. Soils are geologically classified into two types. The next heading is classification of soils. Soils are geologically classified into two types. Number one, the residual soils. Number two, transported soils. What is residual soil? What is transported soil? Residual soil means it is called by the name sedentary soil or in situ soil. Transported soil is called by the name drifted soil. Let us take one by one the residual soil first. Those soils which have been formed and found at the same place is called as residual soils. or in situ soils or sedentary soils. There is no transportation during or after their formation. Those soils which have been formed by weathering of the parent rock and still occupy the position of the rock from which have been formed is called as residual soil. Chemical composition of the soils are principally by the nature of parent rocks. What kind of chemical composition can be seen in the parent rock? The same chemical composition can be seen the soil which is present above the parent rock mass. The thickness of the soils varies from place to place depending upon the factors like lithology, topography, climatic conditions of that particular region, etc. The next one is transported soils. The second one is the transported soils. What is transported soils? Those soils which have been formed at some place but are found at different place. Why? When the soil is subjected to transporting agents like wind action, glacier actions, river action, after having undergone considerable transporting agents. Here, those soils which have been transported from its place of origin by wind, water, ice, etc. and has been redeposited is called as drift soil. Here, obviously, these soils are unrelated to their underlying rocks compositionally. In the residual soil, both the soil and bedrock, which means underlying rocks, are having same chemical composition. In this case, the chemical composition of the soil is differ from the underlying rocks. Sometimes the same kind of composition can be seen, but which is not depending upon bedrocks or underlying rocks. Since they occur in stratified manner, they have uniform in thickness. Again, the transported soils have been classified into 5 kinds, depending on the place of occurrence of the geological agent involved in their transportation. These soils are further classified. The next is classification of transported soils. Depending on the place of occurrence or the geological agents involved in their transportation, these soils are further classified into 5 kinds. Number 1, alluvial soils. What are alluvial soils? Those soils which have been deposited from suspension in running water, which means the soils which are formed in freshwater bodies. For example, Indo-Gangetic alluvial soils are the best examples of this group. In between peninsular and extra-peninsular region of our country, we are going to find Indo-Gangetic alluvium, which has been transported by different rivers which are originated at the hill station, particularly Himalayan hill station. During their journey period, they transport material towards the low-lying area which is in between peninsular and extra-peninsular region. The second one is lacustrine soils. What are lacustrine soils? Those soils which have been deposited from suspension in quite freshwater lakes, sediments which are deposited in lakes particularly. A smaller groups of soils formed from accumulation of debris in lakes and other bodies of standing water is called lacustrine deposit. It is rich in organic material. The next one is aeolian soils. What are aeolian soils? Those soils which have been transported by winds, sediments which are deposited after transport by wind action. Aeolian processes are generally associated with desert areas, but one should keep in mind that deserts are of two types, such as hot and warm deserts and cold deserts. Aeolian processes are not active in cold deserts because the surfaces are always covered with permanent ice sheets. Thus, winds are active in arid and semi-arid environment where the ground surface is covered with loose and friable geomaterials, on which we are going to find loosely deposited sediments that will be picked up by wind action easily when there is no covered sheet. When the material is covered by ice sheets, definitely on which wind does not able to play any role. The next one is glacial soils. What are glacial soils? Those soils which have been transported by ice that can be seen North America, Europe and Asia were covered by great glaciers during Pleistocene Ice Age. The rock debris carried by the glaciers are collectively called glacial drifts. Glacial drifts. The next one is marine soils. What are marine soils? Those soils which have been deposited from suspension in sea water is called by the name marine soils. The next is soil groups of India. Number 1, block soils. It is also called by the name block cotton soils. These soils are ideal for growing cotton and hence the name. These are residual type of soils and derived from basic igneous rocks like basalts of Deccan Traps. What are basalts? Basalts are basic igneous rocks, particularly volcanic igneous rocks, which are rich with plagioclase and agate. These soils cover vast areas of our country, extending over the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, northern part of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. The source of black color is not yet perfectly known, but some scientists have identified the black color of soil is due to the presence of titanium, iron or some organic compounds. It is highly susceptible to expansion and contraction, and water cannot easily drain through this soil. When it receives the water, it gets the expansion. When water drains out, it gets contraction. Here in this soil, we are going to find iron, aluminium, lime, magnesium and calcium. But it is poor in phosphorus, nitrogen and organic matter. The next soil is red soils. The name is due to prevalence of iron oxide, which gives them all a red color. It is mainly residual type of soils. These soils have been formed due to decomposition of ancient crystalline rocks like granites and gneisses and also other rocks which are rich in iron and magnesium bearing minerals. It covers vast areas of our country, extending over the states of Orissa, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, etc. The next soil is laterite soils. Laterite soil is a result of disintegration of laterites. Laterites are sedimentary rocks which are essentially made up of oxides of iron and aluminium. Laterite soil is rich in iron, aluminium with small percentage of manganese and titanium. It is a sedimentary rock. It appears almost yellowish red color. In India, laterite soil is widespread, covering over 10% of the total geographical area, namely on the summits of Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, particularly Rajmahal Hills, Vindhyas, Satpurs and Malwa Plateau, southern parts of Maharashtra, parts of Karnataka, particularly coastal regions of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Orissa, Jharkhand, Kerala, Assam, etc.